It's been a while since we've done a walk around on a sort of full build, which this will of course be. It's a 74 cb550, and I'm going to kind of approach some of the standardized modifications that we've been doing for the last couple of years on the 550 frame itself, and also talk about a couple of custom implementations on this particular build. Haven't seen it quite finished in my head yet, but I think that I know enough about the direction I want to go to sort of give a good intro into this project. So from starting to the front to back, again, at 74 550, the same approach with the top triple clamp. It's going to be flattened. The risers will be cut off. The triple clamp will be flattened, and then we've got probably just the mild degree, 5-degree clip-on bars. Chrome, pinch clamp style. The lack of availability on some of the early 550 tanks, the K tanks, is surprising. And so it's led to necessity being the mother of invention in some ways. This is a 500T tank. These are getting somewhat rare too. And I was hoping that when I got this frame that this tank would just slide right on. It didn't, and some slight modifications were made to the frame. We literally, this is where these index pegs used to be. We'll probably plug weld that and sand it flat. But this is the new index peg that's welded in. It's a little further forward and higher up, as you can see. And we countersunk that rubber to fit around this new index peg. And with this tank, I like it because it starts to redefine the line from the triple clamp. It sits a little bit higher, so you can see that, like, literally the level of the gas cap is going to be more level with the triple clamp, which is going to give us that sort of more stout vintage race look on this particular build. And then you can see when this thing sat on the frame originally, this line was really thrown off. If you follow this line at the bottom seam of the tank into the frame here, this sat way too low. You can see this custom bracket that's been welded into place here. It's just a bracket, a flat steel bracket that's been 45'd, and then these holes were appropriately drilled. And we'll have some kind of a damp or some sort of a fender washer or something right here. But this is ultimately to secure the back of the tank and also to create that height requirement that we need to make this thing look homogeneous with the rest of the build. Another style of splash guard we've been working on, mounts, where the original sort of ugly plastic mudguard mounts. This is what it looks like. Some people prefer these, and it's the functionality of these. I'm not sure. It's almost redundant, only because this battery relocation table keeps all of our components dry on this end of things. But some people prefer this look, and if you see, it's been crowned in the brake. That's just to create a little more clearance for the tire. We had clearance issues on some other splash guards, but this obviously, we're not going to facilitate it on this build, but it would go here as opposed to this side. Some people like this look, others prefer this, but that's another solution as well. One main difference toward the back end of the frame here, especially for this relocation table, and to keep the level of the seat relatively homogeneous with the tank, you don't want to get the seat too high, is to cut this rear fender gusset and lower it about 1 inch. That's what I've been doing on almost every single build. And then what it does, you can literally lay a sealed battery on its side and slide it into this little pocket here. The taillight mounts on the back of the relocation table, and then it leaves plenty of room up here for the rest of your reg and rec flasher unit if you're running indicators. Here's the seat. It's built for this particular frame and tank combo. This seat, it'll only fit a 550 with a 500T tank on it, which is kind of cool. It's one of a kind. In the last 8 months especially, this is the new design for anchoring the seat down to the frame. Instead of having any outside visible bracketry, this is a new design here. It hides everything on the inside. Once this is upholstered and wrapped, there's a bolt welded through that tab. These two recognize each other, And then once this is back together and upholstered and painted and everything, we just come underneath with a 6 mil 1.0 wing nut and secure it all down. It really looks nice. In my opinion, it's a better solution than we had in the past, which was either swiveling the seat open or having some outside static bracket that you had to lag into the frame with some kind of a bolt. This makes a lot more sense. This is a K frame 74, and they normally come with that dog ear. That's been cut off on this frame. It's the first time I've actually really ever done it. Normally I facilitate that dog ear for the rear set plate. I wanted to take this in a different direction. This is more like the 750 design, where there's a tab that's welded, and then we've got our anchor plate, which I don't have right now, that's actually being polished. But they're already cut to fit this tank and seat, at least the aesthetics of them. But they anchor here, and it basically, with the plate itself, it replicates where your foot would have been if we had mounted it on that dog ear. But just to try something new, a new design, and to clean up this frame, I wanted to take this approach on this particular build.